What would you like?
It's October 30th,
Correct.
zoning update meeting. First thing I want to mention is we had a couple of inquiries on how many dog bites there has been. I got information from the public health department, and of course, those are just ones that have been reported through the health system where someone has gone and gotten treatment. And over the last 3 years, there's been 9 or 10. I'm not sure if my understanding is there was a recent dog biting incident in the town, and I don't know if that was included in the total numbers.
So they're all documented? These are all documented?
Yes.
Okay.
So 9 for sure, possibly 10 dog bites
Correct.
And that's how many
In the
years?
town of Bennington,
in 3 years.
in 3 years.
3 years.
The severity of them was not included. I think probably some of it is like HIPAA related. You can't give out identifying information as to where they occurred. And I know countywide, it looked like they were anywhere from like 40 to 65 per year. So that was,
So have any of those been deemed dangerous?
I do not know. Like I said, I know that there is a court case here in the town regarding a dangerous dog claim, on the west side of the town, or west side of the town. And I don't know what the outcome of that is, if the dog was deemed dangerous. I don't believe the clerk has received any paperwork on a dog being registered that it's dangerous.
But the case went through court Monday night?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, not this past Monday.
Couple Mondays ago.
I would say within the last 2 months it's been heard in court, because Krista has been there, not Krista, Justin. So she investigated it and then we testified in court. So, we've got our control, confining, and leashing of dogs local law that we've been messing around with. And then we also have, and that's pretty close to being done, I think. Ready for a public hearing. I think we had a good practice of that last week, or last meeting. But it would be nice to have a public hearing made up mostly of our own residents. We're the ones who have to live with it. And then I also made copies of the kennel guidelines, so if people exceed the number of allowed dogs per residence, then they get a kennel permit.
Where did you come up with these?
The kennel permit, I believe Joyce typed this up, and I think a lot of it is Darien and Alden, and even some from Marilla. So, I went through it just the other day, and it looked pretty sensible. The only thing that I wasn't sure of, because I didn't have the other copy of the control one, was the barking, because I knew we had made some changes to the length of time we're allowing dogs to bark. I wanted to make sure the kennel law was consistent with that law as well. Oh, no,
This is them.
and this.
And I would imagine if somebody has a problem with barking, they call Justa, and then,
Done?
Yes, ma'am.
That's the kennel.
Justa would go and talk to them. And then if it keeps happening,
Right.
it's not like it's a, I hear your dog bark when I wake up in the morning and I'm gonna call somebody.
I mean, municipal operations, whether it's Bennington or Wyoming County or even New York State, it's like, you're doing something that's wrong, this is your warning or whatever, and this is why it's wrong, you know, why it's causing a disturbance and
Yeah.
what the law refers to, and then hopefully I don't have to come back here. So.
So this is the most updated draft. Draft 8, right?
Okay, and I got this. Okay. Yes, that is the most updated.
There should be a couple changes, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
Oh, that's okay. So for housing, can we make that, instead of us having our own rules, can we make it that everything's covered under the ag and markets as far as
Housing,
dogs in-house?
which one are you in?
I'm in the kennel part.
Okay,
What I'd like to do is make a lot of it where people have to,
right. This is something that's already been held up in court, and found to be supported.
well, yeah, ag and markets, and especially with the new law coming out, I don't wanna, I don't wanna rewrite it, but if that's what Justa has to follow, then can't we just put that in here as,
Okay.
as opposed to us making up rules?
Right, you can't even keep dating cows because the state
Yeah.
has changed something.
Right.
Keep referring to that.
Hey, Chris.
Chris?
Excuse me, Alan. Jess does the Wyoming County Dog Control.
Yes,
Yeah.
just figured out.
Yeah, I talked to her, there was a dog escaping from Sheldon and coming to my property, and she tipped me off whose it was, and we got it back. But I just wanted to make sure we were talking about the same person in my head. Thank you, sorry.
Was it Lulu?
No, it was Finn. He's a beautiful dog. I would love to keep him, but I already got a dog.
So if maybe we can look at that and compare it. Okay. I don't know if that's something Eli can do.
Okay.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah, that's a great idea to follow ag and markets
Yeah.
closely because, again, like you said, it already held up in court. So this may have to change, you know?
Yeah, that's a big chunk of the regulations. And then right there at the very end of it, the top of page 6 is, the barking thing, and just make that consistent with the dog law.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know, let's just show this to Eli and
Okay.
I think that's ready to do. And obviously, if somebody has, there's not many people in town, I don't think, that have 6 or more dogs. But what's happening is, you know, Bennington is growing, people are moving here, and if you don't have some sort of regulation, then they, at least this way, you can say. But for the people that are already here that have, I'm not trying to make it so that they have to get a kennel law if they have 6 or more dogs. But if they, if, I think in the other law, if they start losing their dogs and they start replacing them, then they have to follow the special use permit.
Well, and I think one of the things with, like, the housing part of it, I mean, a lot of that, I mean, there's like some technical things on like how big
Yeah.
The runs and housing should be for different sized animals.
Correct.
And I mean, that's all mainly for protection of the dog. I think.
It's hoarders, so we
Yeah.
don't get anybody hoarding dogs and mistreating their animals.
Yeah,
Yes, and that's with the new egg and markets law coming out, they cover all that, how much room dogs need, and so, I think,
yeah.
I think we'll follow that.
So we don't know how much this law is gonna change then, between now and the next time we look at it, correct?
Correct. I mean, there's some, like, some standard stuff in there.
Yeah.
The dollar, or the number of dogs that, you know, we picked out, how many we think should be,
Where did the ton of lease come from? Is that from Ag and Market? I don't know.
That was probably just a guide from another law, but again, that can all be, this was just, I think this is the first we've looked at it, so this is all
Yeah.
something that's, you know, obviously can be changed. Let me see, let's see.
I'd like that. Just make sure that that is obviously consistent with Ag and Markets.
And that might be something that we ask Justa about,
yeah.
and if she has guidelines, if she has another local law for that, you know, for kennels, then we should look at that.
And I think just, you know, getting some criteria and a set form or list of information needed for a special use permit. So everybody's getting the same information. Now, under penalties, what I'm seeing in, I think in Marilla and Alden, they do reference right off the bat, according to what Ag and Markets has, but then they do list specific dollar amounts or was it imprisonment or whatever for convictions of an offense. So we'll have to definitely see if that's in Ag Markets or if it's just, each community is gonna
Okay.
setting their own standards.
And there's a whole chapter about pre-existing kennels.
Is that a
Page 10.
Because we do have a couple of people that have kennels and have special use permits. Okay.
Do we need to,
I think all that housing doesn't, I think that can all be looked at under the
says that they have to come up within 12 months
Mhm.
into compliance. But I thought we were gonna just basically grandfather them in, and it's just if they get new dogs, is when they have to be in compliance. So something like that. Maybe work on that part a little bit.
What page is that?
10.
I know we get phone calls periodically here at the town hall from people who are looking to buy a property in the town and want to know what the limit on dogs is. I don't know if we just have somebody who has like 4 dogs and we want to make sure we can have their dog, or if there's somebody who's being pushed out from another community that has a 2-dog or a 3-dog limit.
That's a pretty expensive move for your animals.
Price of dog food now, a lot, 4 dogs.
That's everything.
Yeah, that's true.
So, under the penalty part 2, that should be all egg and markets. If I copied it from another one, I think on it. I just did it as a baseline,
Yeah.
so.
This is drafted one.
And you know, one of the things too with grandfather existing kennels, I mean, whether or not you grandfather them or you just grant them a variance from the law, saying that, okay, it's, you know, if you have built 8 shelters or whatever, and 8 runs and whatnot, and you get investment, you know, we say, all right, when you get down to 5 dogs or fewer, that's where you're capped at, or do we say, okay, you can, you know, you got an investment?
Yeah, because if they built them 9 by 10 and they needed to be 10 by 10,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've already put that investment into your property, I don't know if that's, I don't think that's fair if you're
Yeah.
following the existing law now,
Mm-hmm.
to say, okay, you have to change. So, I think that, I would like some wording in for like, you know, existing kennels and existing stuff. As long as the animals are treated fairly and humanely,
Yeah.
that if you're there, you're okay. Now, obviously, if you add on to your facility, you should
Build a little
come up to the
different
specs.
configuration.
Yeah, yeah.
But do we, how many do we, I know, like Stacy Ackford, she's got a special use permit, right? For her kennel.
I think she does.
Yeah, I know she's got it for the room and the kennel and
Oh.
everything,
Okay.
but, yeah.
What do she got up there?
I don't know, I've never seen any dogs there other than the big room.
I know,
I haven't
yeah,
seen it.
I mean, she's got a grooming thing, and then maybe she'll take dogs in to watch them or something.
Boarding, yeah.
Just one at Church Road, right?
Do we need to, speaking of boarding, should boarding be in here?
Yeah, I don't think that's,
Should it be in the kennels, or should it be in the
I think it
regular
should
dog law?
be, if it's like a commercial kennel, for boarding purposes or whatever. Oh, okay,
It's in
it's the very end of the kennel definition. So,
Unless
let's
we-
see if we're, commercial kennel. Kennel shelters, hospital homes, and commercial boarding. So that
Okay.
almost looks like
something like Rover, like that's like, I don't know if you're familiar, but like Rover, you can do like dog sitting.
Mhm.
What do you
Is
call it?
that
Roving?
Rover? It's like a dog
Okay.
sitting app that you
Okay.
can like
Yeah,
take dogs and
Mhm.
watch them like for a week or so at a time. Is that considered boarding or?
I think that's what we were just trying to figure out.
yeah, because if it is, I mean, well, obviously, it's like, are you getting paid to do it, or are you just doing it for your neighbor or friend or whatever? And is it for 3 days while they're away for a weekend, or are you watching them for a week or 2 weeks? And then when that dog goes, are you taking somebody else's dogs or whatever? I mean, that sounds,
And that number would be greater than 6 or 7,
Yeah.
whatever that is, right? So you'd have to have,
oh, that's
Well,
true.
if you have 4 or 5,
right,
and then you get 2 of your friend's dogs now you're about
Yeah.
7. You know, and I think maybe, isn't there like, where they do it for free, right? Where I watched your dog one time and there's just a community on it, kinda like they do with,
This one's like you pay
oh,
someone.
this one you pay for, okay, I didn't know, I'm sorry.
Do they,
I thought there was something like that, like where they have the boondockers, where people can bring their campers and camp on your property and you,
You
whatever.
don't camp on yours.
Yeah,
bring them to your?
But I could be
home or
wrong,
to
I
their
don't-
house?
Yeah,
It's
I don't know
whatever
that
you
for a
want.
Oh, okay.
There's both options.
yeah.
I asked her if you bring them to your home or if you go to the home, to the dog owner or something, she said you could do either, so I'm just unfamiliar with that.
Well, if it's at the dog owner's house, that wouldn't be,
Right.
I mean, that's, I mean, and I think if it's, I don't know, like for instance, you know, your kids come to town, they bring their dogs, they're there for 2 weeks, you're not gonna, you know, you're not gonna get regulated for that, because then they're gonna go back, and I would, but I think the law is, if you have a dog for, what, more than 10 days, you have to license it,
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's.
you know, but in this case, it's, I don't think that should be the same thing, because if you're, do you have, does the person have some sort of agreement, or is it just word of mouth?
It's through the website or whatever, like there's an app. Like I've used it to have my dog be watched, but I've never watched anyone's dog. Just,
Mhm.
So do you take it to somebody's house?
yeah,
Okay.
or somebody can come to your house, but I didn't want anybody in my house, like. when I was
Yeah.
away.
It's called Rover,
Yeah, there's
like Red Rover.
ROVR. Yeah. There's probably other ones
Oh,
that are
yeah.
similar. but-
I mean, it sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, if you don't wanna have a dog,
Yeah.
you still, but you,
But you know, if, I mean, if you, yeah, if, yeah, you don't have a dog, but
Right.
you wanna have a dog.
right.
Like, if I don't wanna pay the vet bills, but I'd be happy to have Larry
That's
come to
called
my
foster.
house
Right, Larry.
for a few days.
That's called
As long as
fostering,
you're
Ellen.
providing the food,
Lots of food.
I could provide all the love and attention.
It's a new app, Run a Larry.
I don't know if you know who Larry is, it's Kim's, what is he?
He's a therapy dog.
Oh,
He's a school therapy
oh,
dog.
cool.
Yeah, no,
Great Dane
Therapy horse.
Mastiff.
Oh, yeah? Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, so, but like, say you don't have any dog, or say you have 2 dogs.
Yeah.
And if somebody wants to use, if you wanna sign up for Rover and say, I can take 2 or more dogs, I could take 3 dogs, then I don't think that would
well, you would
make
be,
it
I'll take
crazy,
it along.
but,
you would be over the 7, but I think we need to make sure that somebody, because again, somebody conceivably could have 4 dogs themselves,
yeah,
and then all of a sudden, okay, well, I got 2 coming this week, and before these 2 leave, 2 more are coming.
yeah,
And I guess if you're doing it commercially for money, then, again, I wanna protect the animal, I mean, certain websites, they vet everybody anyways, or they're supposed to, I think,
mhm.
I don't know.
All good experiences?
Yeah, I had good experience.
Good.
There you go.
Okay.
There's people online, like in New York City, that haven't, so.
And I don't wanna stop it, you know, I think
Yeah.
that's fine, that's a great idea, you know, and then you can do what you need to do. And the dog's well taken care of. But now we're above that 7, and if it's more than 10 days, if I'm going for 2 weeks, I think we just need to address it and say, okay, if you're going to do this, then you need to do, I don't know,
That's
X,
like-
Y, Z.
Going from an Airbnb to building a motel.
Sure.
But you must have some sort of agreement online with the person. So you can say, you know, this, if the person takes it to their house, takes your dog to my house, and then all of a sudden I have, you know, 7 dogs, and somebody complains, I can say, well, I had an agreement with the owner that I'm gonna have this dog for 2 weeks, and then it's leaving.
Right.
But, and I would think that, I mean, if somebody, you know, I mean, if it's a complaint, and then you can show proof that it's not your dog, but you have an agreement with somebody, do you have to sign agreements with people on
I agreed to the terms and services, I don't know if that,
Boarding them, that's boarding.
Yeah, maybe short-term boarding, something to say in there, that it's okay for short-term boarding,
that? That's a good one.
or something to that effect, and maybe even put a term on the boarding, I don't know.
Well, I guess if you go on vacation for a week, that's, you know, you take your dog somewhere, that's boarding, you kennel them,
Mm-hmm.
so they're in, they're out, you still want them to have that space and be well taken care of. And you think, little dogs, big dogs, what kind of dogs get boarded, you know, outside of it, so.
So I wonder if
I don't even know. if
things
it's
like
something-
Rover or whatever, if they screen the places, like if they, hi, I'm Ellen from Rover, and I'm here to just check to make sure that you do have a yard, and you got this and you got that, and,
people write reviews, but I
Okay.
don't think it's actually like,
I hate
People
to drop my
do
dog off and be the first one here to use this, and it turns out that it's not a good situation.
right, and you would probably
Well,
report
.com
them.
reviews.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
I don't even really think it's anything.
okay.
I think it's worth mentioning, I like the, limited boarding or something like that.
Short-term boarding.
Just so it's there, so people, it's acceptable, right? Or
Yeah.
What's the goalpost around it, right? Section 2.8 under excessive noise, are we gonna make that match?
Yes,
Okay, maybe I missed that one, late. Match M under housing. Well, yeah, so M under housing on page 3, actually page 4, at the top.
mhm,
Is that right? I'm sorry.
yeah,
Not, I'm sorry, page, housing starts on page 3 and goes to page 8. So at the back of the first part of page 8, it goes into the noise. But that's gonna match what we came up with
Yes.
before, right? You just gotta point back to the
Define
definition,
what
that excessive noise needs to,
What's that?
you need to point to that in the definition. Right, so you get, right now excessive noise just says dogs shall not engage in excessive loud howling, barking, and it says in here, the dogs not consistently barking even for 20 minutes, right? So it just needs to match.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, hey, consistent with dogs.
Yep.
So,
I copy it.
okay.
Oh, I have it there, but not on the definition on page 2.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
Page 2
All right.
is gonna say that.
and since we're jumping all around, can I jump around too?
Sure.
And under nutrition, well, six-ish, somewhere six-ish. Nutrition under F. About all kennels must be licensed by the town of Bennington, and then go way down in there. In the event, there's some dispute over whether a license should be renewed, a veterinarian will be retained to advise the town board, and the kennel owner shall pay the veterinarian's charge for inspection. I kind of thought that was a little excessive. What if we had a dog control officer or a veterinarian?
Sure.
Doing an inspection, and then just change it that, it's not a veterinarian's charge for inspection, it's just a charge for inspection. Just in case the county wants to charge something to us for Christmas time.
Yeah, because later in H, it says the dog can go off as a unit inspector.
F, yeah,
Yeah,
and same with I, right? Dog control officer can inspect.
Yeah.
And that's in the, that's in the egg and markets law too, that's coming out. Okay, when it says, what about J, where it says foster homes may only foster one dog at a time? I think that should, I mean, because I think there was somebody here, that's why we raised it to 6, because somebody said, if I have 3 dogs and I foster 2 of them, then I'm over, because I think our limit was 4, then I'm over the limit. So I think we have to change that fostering.
2 dogs, 2 foster dogs.
Well, if you have 4 dogs,
I think it would just be not to exceed 7, right? If 7 is the max of a normal dog, and you wanna foster a couple of dogs, you should be under 7.
If you're
Under
over
If
there,
they're over 7, just gotta ask for
on the
permission.
kennel.
Yeah.
I mean, they should have,
Okay, I get what
Right
you're
stuff.
saying. So
Right,
foster
place to
homes
keep
may
them,
only be
right.
allowed to have up to 7
Yeah.
dogs on the premises.
yes,
Regardless
instead
of-
of telling them how
Yeah.
many they can foster.
Owned
Yeah.
or, okay.
Yeah, you can foster 7 if you want to. If you want to foster 8, then you have to be a kennel.
So if
No,
I
you have to
have
foster
7 and I
6.
wanna foster 1 and I, let's be at 8, is that a kennel or is it a special use permit? Specifically for fostering?
Well, that will go with the non-commercial, right, section before that. The non-commercial kennels, housing between 7 and 9, will not be required to meet from now, but I don't know.
Kennel permit.
Yeah, on H, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But I don't know where the non-commercial, where it says what, where do you become a non-commercial compared to becoming a commercial?
So non-commercials would have secure kenneling, so you, non-commercial is kenneling, right? So if you go by that, 7 to 9, non-commercial, you have to have the facilities to manage that.
Right, and G says that non-commercial and mixed kennel must apply for secure kennels.
So basically, if anything over 7, you're a kennel.
I think it might clear it up for you in 2.86, the definition of kennel. Towards the bottom where it says notwithstanding the foregoing, the following facility should not be deemed commercial kennels, town animal shelter, animal hospitals, less engaged in commercial boarding, and groomers unless engaged in commercial boarding. If you're fostering, are you commercially boarding?
So commercial means you're making money off of it.
That's what I would
Yeah.
think.
Fostering.
I'm trying to help, I'm not
No, no, that's
trying to tell
fine.
you guys what to do.
No, that's
but-
fine, so I don't even know, I mean, I don't know, like, I don't know what a commercial, I mean, that's like a big setup, isn't it? I mean, where, if you're gonna be a commercial dog,
you'd have to have a lot of equipment and stuff, I would think.
I mean, you definitely, then you're a business, and then you need a special use permit in the town. Wouldn't it be, you have a special use permit is for a business? Whereas
If
a
the
non-commercial, it would be,
Yeah, if
you
the
know,
zoning doesn't say
I have
it's
5
allowed
dogs.
Use.
I don't think I like
Well,
the word
okay.
commercial.
So at the very bottom of page 2, in the big bold words, this is the regulations by special permit from the town board. So.
I mean, if you have 6 dogs and they're your own dogs, then you're, you know, obviously non-commercial, but I don't know. I don't think people around here would have a business where they're a commercial kennel.
So wait a minute, so between page 2 and page 3, not tracking, it says Article 2 Regulations, Sections 2.1.1 by special permit from the town board, and then it goes right up to, it says add the following.
Yeah, a special permit application.
Okay, so that's attached to the bold print at the bottom of 2. It just, it's awkward,
Yeah.
because it goes to 5.
Yeah. Because it's made to meld into the existing
Okay.
zoning law.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think we should get rid of commercial. I mean, if you're gonna be a commercial dog owner, then you definitely need a special use permit.
I would
Right.
think so, yes.
But,
Well, yeah, you're a business for, but again, what if it's in the commercial zone? And you don't need a special use permit to have a business, that you don't want a special use permit for, are you gonna make a kennel separate?
If it's in a commercially zoned area, then no, right, that's the idea of what it's for,
Right.
right?
but still, they have to have rules for a kennel then,
Well, they should have the rules, but
they have to follow.
they would have to follow, somehow it's gotta be in the commercial area.
Is that even, are
I don't
kennels
know.
allowed use in commercial?
I mean, it goes back to, I think we ran into this problem with the solar over on Church, because that's sitting in the right in the middle of manufacturing zone property. And that was, I think that was brought up then, well, why do we need a permit if it's sitting in manufacturing zone property? And we made them get a permit. Well, he's looking it up, just H with the sewage, so I'm assuming that's attached to a kennel, where it's asking you how to, like, all that's gotta be attached to a drain system?
Yeah, again, it's like, how big does the kennel have to be to start?
Because if you have individual pods for dogs, you're not gonna connect those with the, right? Septic, basically, it's a septic system.
Yeah, I think you can take that out. But it does say, and again, that's if you're, like a commercial dog. But we're not letting people have more than, how many dogs? Total, 15? 9? I don't know if we're gonna come up with that number.
Yeah, 15, you never can choose it.
Does the health department have any rules on that? I mean, if you build a 3-bedroom house, you have to have a certain size septic system, so if you're putting dog waste down there, they have a rule on that? I have no idea. And I used to put septic system. I don't know.
Let's see, we got any records on that. Well, I think maybe
I think we just
we look
gotta,
at egg and markets as
Yeah.
far as that goes.
that just seems, to me, that's a commercial application. If you're doing all that work, like, we're in it.
Well, I mean, then again, what if you have somebody that comes in and, says, I wanna put in a commercial, I don't even know what you would call it, commercial dog farm? I don't know. What's it called?
You mean a kennel or a breed?
Well, I mean, like, if somebody wants to come and make a business on boarding dogs, number one, how many dogs are we going to allow them to have max? Number two, I would think then Egg and Markets takes over and they have to follow whatever Egg and Markets is to, to take care of that many animals.
Kennel shall be permitted and it's designated residential agricultural district only under the following provisions, so.
There's really nothing in here in the business that I can find.
Okay,
The only thing that comes close is,
For kennels?
yeah, well, you could maybe do grooming, because you can do, hair salons and stuff like that.
so,
I mean,
what's under
Yeah, but you don't have one or two at a time.
1.1?
3.1.1, right? Or 2.2. 2.1. 2.
M,
2.1. 2.1, M. Right there, by special use permit by the town.
M, okay. See, they're talking about residential agriculture. There's nothing there about
Mhm.
kennels.
So they have municipal shelter guide under ag and markets, then they have minimum space requirements for dogs.
So kennel allowed in agriculture residential, that's under C,
Okay.
2.11. They
Okay.
have to be at least 100 feet from the adjoining lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And that's the only thing we have for kennels.
Kennel or regs, yeah. Private pen, donation, animal care, yeah. I don't think there's anything else specific to kennels.
No, there isn't.
So, on page 3, when you add the following about the special use permit application to operate a kennel. What is it gonna say? Oh, under number 5, assurance that each area meets the minimum space requirements established by ag and markets. What if we just take out space? That each area meets the minimum requirements, whether it's the fresh air handling, it's the heat.
Because that's what it is under ag and markets, it's called minimum space requirements for dogs. Under ag and
Okay.
markets.
But how about all the other requirements, minimum requirements? Like the design,
Shelter,
yeah.
Kind of encompasses everything, and then they just, okay, I got it.
I mean, it doesn't, when it talks about minimum space requirements for dogs, it talks about how big they are,
Yeah,
how much floor space they need, then if you have
I
a
think
mother
that's this
with
one.
puppies, how much room the mother needs with the puppies.
yeah,
You know, that's why I think we just follow, and then it has the exercise requirement for dogs, includes some floor space requirements, so.
If you put minimum requirements, including space requirements.
mhm.
Assurance that each area meets the minimum space requirements established by the ag and markets law, allowing dogs to move about naturally. I don't know, maybe you could put, I don't know if this one has a section in here.
You're trying to encompass,
Everything,
Everything,
like
yeah.
number 6 talks about adequate lighting and space and temperature. Well, what do you mean by adequate? Well, let's add the minimum ag and markets.
maybe take number 5 and put bullet points on it, like space, adequate lighting, stuff, like,
Yeah.
you have space again, temperature, et cetera.
Yeah.
Up to and not including adequate lighting, space, temperature. Or up to and not, exclusive.
This doesn't say anything about lighting. Just talks about how much room they have to have.
Number one, do you put 800 feet from properties, is that what we have in here? Or do we wanna change that?
I think it should be, keep that.
800 feet?
Yeah, cause you don't want it right on a person's, say the person doesn't have a big enough area,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they put their kennel right on the line.
I don't want that.
And we have it already, right? So
Yeah.
we're just carrying it over.
That's an
Yeah.
existing one.
Yep.
Do we have anywhere where we discuss what screening measures are? Is there any definitions in here?
A lot of it is, like if you have a fence, if you have a chain link fence, and your dog, the neighbor's dogs can see you when you're out in your yard, you know, there's that black, I don't even know what it is, a netting or something that you can put so they can't, you know, they can probably hear you, but they can't see you, so visually,
Stuff looks like a tennis courts,
yeah.
or the slats or something. But they need to define that, I guess.
It should just be,
No, man-made dimensions.
yeah, I'd say screening measures such as a fence or shrubbery, designed to limit dog's ability to see, something like that.
Or just even something that goes over the fence, where they can't see out. You know, if it's a chain link fence, then they have to cover it. If it's a problem. I would say if it's not a problem, if a neighbor doesn't complain, but if a neighbor complains about a dog barking because they're in a kennel like that, then I think it has to be addressed, but otherwise, you know, maybe the neighbor wants to go over and see him.
So minor offense, then back on page 2, which is obviously the definition section, it's pointing right at kennels. Failure to secure appropriate declaration for operation of a kennel. That's a minor offense. Don't know what that means, but okay.
I don't know that.
Yeah, they're either- we're-
I'm just pointing it out there. My assumption is when you get into the penalties, there should be a minor, yes. Oh,